All right. Hey, listen, guys. I promise I'll have some voice filler soon for for that dead space.
Yeah, you said that last week, man.
Hey, man, I've been super busy, man. I got 2 podcasts, a nonprofit, and I work full time, family, a dog. You know how that goes.
I know. No, I'm just giving you shit, man.
I'm working on expanding the nonprofit up into Detroit. I have some couple irons in the fire, but hey, we'll get it done sooner
By
or
the
later.
way,
So,
hello.
hello,
Hey, how you
How are you
doing?
doing?
how you
Hi,
doing,
Cash.
I'm good.
sir? Cash, how you doing? Um, Before we get into Cash Miller, get his story, we just have a couple of announcements. Just a reminder, I want to thank our Patreon members. What we do with the Patreon money is we turn around and we purchase sporting event tickets, and then we send veterans, first responders, and Gold Star family members to sporting events. And also the cookbook, From Sailor to Backyard Cook, with my beautiful face right here and my grandmother. That also supports the nonprofit. And Cash, just so you know, this is not a regular cookbook. There's actually quotes in here from previous guests on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
So yes, sir. So when you open
You
it up,
might make it. You might
you
make
get
the cut, Cash.
you get a quote and a recipe, and it was a very emotional book to put together.
Just
some
say
good
something
stuff.
poignant, and he'll get it, and he'll put it in
Yeah.
the cookbook.
Yes. There's a good chance that you may say something that is worthy of a cookbook in the
Oh, he
next
said
hour.
it. He
We don't
said
know
it.
yet. We'll see. It's all
Worthy of the cookbook. Wow. Damn,
So,
dude.
what else? September 11th, we have a golf outing for Minutes Wisely. That all that fun goes right to purchasing sporting events. I don't have all the flyers out there on social media, so if you're interested, check out our social media or give us a holler, and I'll get you the information.
Or check out golf status and type
Golf
in
status, it's in golf
minutes
status.
wisely, and boom, it'll be
It's
right
right
there.
here in Murfreesboro at Cedar Crest. Got some good stuff coming up, and we also have a veteran barbecue bash coming up in September, but the details for that are not quite out yet. I'm waiting for my good buddy Charlie, who, by the way, we haven't played his
Yeah, we
little
haven't played him
commercial.
in like a couple weeks, man.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, now a message from our show sponsor.
What is going on, guys? It's your man Charlie right here from Single Tree Barbecue. Did you know we are on a mission to build community through undeniable hospitality and the perfect plate of barbecue? Y'all come check us out, 2805 Old Fort Parkway, right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 8, Sundays from 11 to 4. Give us a call at 615-307-0120. You can check us out on all the social platforms at Single Tree BBQ. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you. Appreciate all the support.
Thank you, Charlie. Hey, Charlie just had some very big news for us. He's up in Chicago right now at some conference or something having to do with cooking. And he ran into a famous cook who wants to help us out for the veteran barbecue bash.
Who?
He's okay, listen, his name is escaping me, but he's always on Food Channel. It's the big buff guy.
The big guy?
Yeah.
You mean the guy who cooked for the president? That guy?
What's his name?
He does like 1,000 push-ups like every morning, like that dude.
I don't know if it's him or not.
Is he white or black?
He's a white dude.
Robert Irvine?
Robert Irvine.
Dude, I met that guy.
Well, you might be meeting him again.
Yeah, he saved a restaurant, Ellendale, in Nashville, like 6 years ago.
Was he? Yeah, he's not the one that does Bar Rescue, though, is he?
No, that's no Bar Rescue. That's Tafford, John Tafford.
Yeah, Tafford. Yeah,
but this dude is Robert Irvine. Dude, we were talking about. He was with the Royal Army.
Oh, he was.
He was. Yeah, he was either that, and we were talking about SAS stuff, and I'm like, whoa, holy shit, whoa. Like SAS, you guys, the Special Air Service, those were like, you got Marines, then you got Navy SEALs, Then you got the SAS. They're like way up here. They're like commandos and shit. Those guys are like cool as shit. Those guys are awesome. Those guys are badass motherfuckers.
So somehow there's a big reflection on there. Somehow Charlie ran into him and talked him into helping us out. So I don't know what that means yet. Charlie's still up in Chicago, but when he gets down here, I'll convey the message.
All right. Yeah. He's cool as hell, man.
The cool thing about this is the word is getting out and people love what we're doing. So that's a very positive thing, whether he shows up in Murfreesboro for this or not. It's just great that people love what we're doing. So I appreciate everybody getting the word out. So I know this is a pre-recorded show, but this is Memorial Day weekend, which when this Memorial Day weekend is already passed by the time of shows, but I just want to mention that God bless every man and woman that have given their lives for this beautiful country. It's I don't even know how to say thank you for that, but hey, listen, if it wasn't for the men and women, the fine men and women like them, who knows where this country would be. God bless them. Andrew,
yes, sir.
Do you have any announcements before we get to cash?
Yes.
Cash money.
Cash money records. That's right. Little thing. Sorry, I was just checking my watch. August 3rd, Hero Stock in Lebanon, Tennessee. It's going to be a great event. Get your tickets on Eventbrite. Just type it in, Hero Stock 2024, Lebanon, Tennessee. Some of our VFW members will be there. Stephen Cochran, Sal Gonzalez, Malachias Gaskin. It's going to be good. It's going to be fun. Headed up by Jason Steiner, one of our interviewees.
Yes.
I met Jason at a IW hike in 2019 or 2020. Great guy, and we interviewed him last year, Fleek?
Yes, correct. Yes.
Great guy. He does Hero Stock in Nebraska.
Yes.
He's opening up his Pandora's box of Hero Stock and coming to Tennessee. It's going to be fun.
Hey, speaking of that, you mentioned Sal Gonzalez is going to be there.
Yes.
The Sal Gonzalez that just played at the Grand Ole Opry. So there's going to be some legit singers there.
Sal, he was on America's Got Talent. He's a great singer. He's our friend. He's one of our VFW members. He's been with us for a while. Actually, I just picked up a speaker and a microphone from him for an event that's going on in the future. Great guy. He was basically in the invasion of Iraq. First one, lost his leg, and he is a huge ambassador for Wounded Warrior Project. So he is really, really doing a lot for the veteran community, and we are very, very proud of him.
Yes.
So that's it. That's all I got.
All right. So, Cash, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Yeah, pretty good, man. So,
back hurts. My knees hurt.
Yeah, that's every veteran, I think.
I'm sore, man.
Hey, wash your socks.
Change your socks. Change your socks. And drink water and stand up. Stand up,
wash your
water,
socks.
change your socks.
Wash your socks before you change them as well. I was trying to get at, right? So Cash, the next 45 minutes or so is all yours, man.
Yeah.
So usually we start off why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our listeners?
Who are you, Cash?
Well, okay. So my name's Cash Miller. I'm a resident of Murfreesboro. I'm an Army vet, 2 different enlistments, totaled up about 7.5 years. And they were really far apart on those enlistments too. And I run a company. I've run multiple companies since I got out. I just sold a company, a digital marketing agency, and then I opened up a co-working space here in Murfreesboro called Achieve. So I'm putting the word out, about that, doing marketing and everything, doing, like I say, doing the things I know how to do. But it's
you should have kept a digital marketing company because we could use you.
Well, I do actually. I've got a couple of other interests, including a podcast production company. I just don't run the day-to-day of it.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, but it started as part of the agency. We split it off, and I got a guy that used to work for me in Missouri, and he runs that company. And we've got a team that does production and stuff. So I've done podcasts and stuff. Always enjoy doing them. Yeah, I think they're a lot of fun, and So, but yeah, I say I tell people I've done two things in my life. I've run companies and I've been in the Army. I haven't worked for anybody in like 30 years, actually, besides the military. That's nice. So I'm kind of happy about that part. Now I don't know what I would do. I wouldn't even know where to begin working for someone else.
So if you're a podcaster, I feel like you're just going to be critiquing us the whole hour.
No, I'm good. I've been on a hiatus from actually doing shows for a minute, while I work on my current venture. So it's in which case, and it's always refreshing. I always like going on somebody else's podcast because I hosted a bunch and I've been on other people's, but I always find it funner to go on someone else's rather than be the host.
Yeah, right on. So did you grow up in Murfreesboro?
No, I am well traveled between the military and just personal. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio originally. It's where I was born. But yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yep.
Dude, I'm a lifelong suffering.
You hate Ohio. I know you do.
I won't live in Ohio. It's too flat.
Yeah.
But I'm a lifelong suffering Browns fan. Cleveland Guardians right now. I can't stand the Guardians name. I just can't adapt to it.
That's horrible.
They are doing that. I know they're doing well. So I'm following the team again a little, because they're having a good season. And a Cavs fan. We just fired our coach today. So, even though we made the second round of the playoffs. But
I didn't hear that.
Yeah. No, they just did it a few hours ago. Everybody trying to think that some other guy's going to come in and do better. NBA's always got the quick hook. But so I mostly grew up out west though. My father got divorced early on, dragged me out there when I was like 6. Yeah. And to San Diego originally, but most of my all my teenage years, I actually lived in Las Vegas. And in a good portion of my adult years, Murfreesboro's getting close to being the place I've lived the longest in my life. But because of the Army, I was stationed in Germany, so I lived there for a few years. Fort Hood, whatever they call it now, Cavalos or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Texas for a while, Carson for a while, and then of course, all the other places. I like to say the Army was real good about sending me places I didn't actually want to go and see, but I went and saw anyway. Yeah. So
what was your MLS when you were in?
So I was in 2 different stints. Originally from 1995 to 98. 95 was because I was 20 years old and I had no direction in life. And I decided on it. I had this epiphany one day that I needed to get off my ass because of a car accident I got into. That was totally my fault. And said, I'm not doing anything with my life. And the next day, I went home after I took care of everything. I went to my father. I was still living in the house. And I said, I'm going to go join the Army. And he's like, okay, and I'm like, good. And I went down to the recruiter's office, that day. And I ended up enlisting. I told myself at the time, I got to be combat arms, but I was too tall for tanks. I didn't want to walk. So I joined artillery and became a 13 Bravo. Nice. And then about a year into being a 13 Bravo, I'm like, this is a horrible job. I don't want to do this job. so I got a transfer to a different battery in the artillery unit I was in and started driving trucks. And then when I went back in, in 2007. So I got out in 98. I had 9 years in between. I went back in 07. And I asked to be an 88 Mike. They didn't have any slots. So I became a 92 Fox, which is a fueler because I had done that job the first time around. So I'm like, even though I was in a unit that had we didn't have any truck drivers. We didn't have anybody new fuel. It was all 13 Bravos doing these jobs because we were shorthanded for everything support. And when I went back in, I'm like, okay, well, I already know how to do that job. And I'm like, what gets me, I needed a job at the time and I knew the Army. So I decided to go back in. I had a family. My first, kid had been born. I'm like, okay, so 88 Mike's not available. So how about, what's a fueler? And they had changed the MOS number at the time and said, okay, 92 Fox and you can leave next week. And I'm like, sold, let's do it. And then they were like, by the way, there's a it was $21,000 bonus. I'm like, dude, that's just icing on the cake. Let's go.
Wow. Nice. Did they tax it?
I'm sure Uncle Sam taxed it. They didn't, it took me like 2 years, I think, to collect it. Something like that. They pay it out in installments. I don't know how they do it now, but at the time I was like,
I don't know. The Marine Corps, they don't give bonuses for signing up. So I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like bonuses. What?
Hey, I heard the bonuses now for signing up. They've gotten really big because Army's having a recruiting problem.
Yeah, they all are.
Except for the Marines.
Yeah.
Hey, they made mission.
Yeah, well, you need like half as many people. So,
That is true.
Well, and we get all the leftovers from the Army and from the Navy. Like we have shit from like Vietnam and we're making it work.
Yeah, well, and also I'll tell you what, I had a number of ex-Marines that I ended up working for because they couldn't get promoted on their side, so they would switch over to the Army so they get promoted.
Back it up. Don't ever say ex-Marine ever again.
Yeah, hey, I will give total credit to the Marines. I had two different platoon sergeants that were ex-Marines, but they were the two best platoon sergeants I probably ever had. I had one dude that I was under when we went to Iraq, and you'd go through, whatever shitstorm, there was for it. And I had another one when I went to Afghanistan. They were both they had been in the Marines. I said, I asked them why they switched promotion opportunities. That's what it was. Yeah. And the guy in Afghanistan, that guy, he ended up a sergeant major, a command sergeant major, actually. And, he was one of the best platoon sergeants I ever had. Like I say, that guy, if anything happened, you knew he would know what to do. That was the thing. And I don't know, my leadership was always pretty good about getting rid of the people that we thought would not know what to do in those situations. So, they'd find ways to move out those LTs and stuff that were, we really didn't want them giving orders.
Right. So you went to Iraq and Afghanistan?
Yeah, I spent, we did a year in Iraq. I spent 6 months in Afghanistan.
Here it comes.
No. Hey, he said it. Okay, you heard it too, man.
I was waiting though. I was waiting for you to jump on it.
So Cash, let me ask you a question. Are you a member of the VFW yet?
No, I am not. I've thought about it.
They have two in Murfreesboro.
Yeah, I've thought about it. I don't know. I'm like, now that I'm getting up there, maybe everybody around here is like, you get a lot of Vietnam vets. I go to the VA and everything.
Not ours.
Like
Cash. Our average age for our post is like 49 years old. Like they're all.
Well, then I'm right in there because I'm 49. So
49. I'm 46. Fleek is like older. I don't know, 50.
I think my impression came 58. From going over to York, going to the to the VA and stuff. Yeah.
Well, you're talking to two past commanders of the VFW right here in Murfreesboro.
Great. I need. Yeah.
And that guy was a commander of 4575 and 12206. I have only been the past commander of one post. He's been a past commander of two posts.
Well, three if you count the one in Detroit.
Sorry, three if you count Michigan. Sorry. Forgot about that. Sorry, Fleek.
It's all good.
Yeah, but Cash, we'd love to have you, man. We just had our meeting on Monday. I wasn't there, but they have new officers. We have a building now. It's on Broad Street. It's awesome. You should definitely join.
Hey, I'm willing to check it out.
I was gonna say, at least come by and check us out.
Yeah, well, Richard, you got my email, so just tell me when it's going to happen, and I'll show up. See if I can make the next meeting.
Hey, I'm going to send him. Around. I'm going to send you an application because I have your email too.
Okay.
So you'll be member at large, and then you can transfer into our post whenever you want.
Andrew loves recruiting people.
I do. I'm
So
sorry,
as soon as you said
Cash.
that,
I've recruited over 350 members since 2017. So
Well,
and I have to give a talk in June at our state convention
hey,
at the Music City Sheridan
hey,
about
butthole.
recruiting. Yes, sir.
Technically, you just poached my guy. I'm the one that found Cash.
No, you can take them, dude. I've got 52 for the year. I'm
No,
the
I'm
most
good. I don't.
decorated recruiter in Tennessee this year. I had the most out of any of the 15,898 people that are members here in Tennessee. I have the most recruits.
I'll let you have him, buddy.
No, you can have them.
No, I don't want him.
No, you can have them. Are we really seriously? Are we
well, it's
fighting
nice
on
to
the
be
air
fought
about
over. I'll say that much, you know, one way
Cash?
or another.
Hey, Cash Money, we're gonna fight over you, man.
Cash Money. You should change your last name from Miller to Money.
Dude, that's your new nickname, Cash. Like
Cash Money.
when you come into our post, hey guys, it's Cash Money.
Yeah, it won't be the first time I've heard it, but okay.
Dude, that's that's great. Sorry, we got off on a tangent. You were
Yeah,
talking about
that
Iraq,
happens.
Afghanistan, and the Marine that was a very good command sergeant major. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, like I say, it was platoon sergeant at the time, you know, but but yeah, I had, multiple, former Marines
Thank
that
you.
ended up great
Thank you.
command.
There you
They
go.
were,
That's better. That sounds better than
yeah,
ex.
yeah, former, but they were, I say some of the best platoon sergeants I had hands down, because I say, my job, during both deployments, and my job was to go on the road, and so you never know what's going to happen, if you're doing convoys constantly and stuff, and and I was in a combined arms battalion then, so we were doing support for I'd say for tankers, but they didn't drive any tanks. Everybody was in an MRAP, so yeah. Which case, though, we had a lot of missions we'd have to run, to keep those guys supported and stuff. And you're always on the road, and you never know what's going to happen if you're on the road, So, yeah, it's and even during my first enlistment, I was actually, that was my one thing is I had a problem of getting deployed. I kept getting deployed because even my first enlistment, I was in Germany for 2 months, and I ended up in Bosnia and Herzegovina in '96.
No way.
Yeah, like literally 2 months. I'd only been in the Army for 6. I think I'd done basic training that June, and you get the and literally. It was funny. I was looking at some photos because there's some great Facebook groups for, and we've got one. I was in the 2nd Battalion, 3rd Field Artillery, and they've got a really good Facebook group where you've got all these past generations. I've posted some stuff, other people have, but like you've got people going back into the 60s that served in that battalion. And a lot of people have posted, and I ran into this thing the other day that somebody had posted, I don't know, a few months ago. And I was just kind of like scrolling through, and I see this like building, and I'm like, dude, I lived in that place, and then I'm like, and they had some YouTube video attached to another post, and it was my battery commander doing some interview, for freaking, Armed Forces Radio or something, at the time, it was, AP interview. Yeah. Associated Press interview.
Associated Press. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was doing that. And, I'm like, geez, man, and then I'm like, so it was funny because we were when we deployed, that was the peacekeeping mission. And we were, my unit was in the first 1,000 troops there. So I was like, it was and even today we still got troops in Kosovo or something. And we were the first 1,000 troops. So they do this interview, and I'm watching, and you got him. And then they're showing a formation. They zoom in on a formation, and they've got the platoon sergeant, they got an NCO up front, and I recognize the NCO because later he becomes my first sergeant when I transfer batteries. But I'm like, dude, I got to be in that formation, and because we're in this frozen field. We got there, it was New Year's Day. And I remember it really clear because all of our guns were in the field. We show up in a bus. The bus just stops. Everybody gets off, grabs their gear, and they literally, some NCO says, "Go find your gun." Okay, because our equipment had shipped out on I think it was Christmas Eve. And Yeah, so I'm like, it's so surreal. Like you see something that you were like literally there, and it's like, I mean, it's like almost 30 years later.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, so Facebook actually makes it pretty interesting because I've got connections with people in my first enlistment, and then a whole different group during my second enlistment,
Mhm.
and all different things you end up doing together. And actually, I was looking at a buddy of mine. I checked out his profile, and he's a big member of the VFW in Kentucky, actually, for my
Who?
first enlistment. His name's Darren Atkins. Oh, you know him, huh?
I'm the state chaplain for another month for Tennessee. I just made
Okay.
Darren my assistant chaplain for the Southern Conference. I was just there at spring convention.
Yeah,
swearing him,
he had on his profile spring convention he was at and stuff.
and I gave
you know,
him
and-
a stole, the green stole that he's wearing. I gave that to him.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah,
He was
Darren-
just
Hispanic.
He was just on our show a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
he was. And Darren is actually putting his name in the hat for national chaplain for the VFW.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I didn't realize he was I don't know. He did strike me as a religious guy, but I knew him as a mechanic. So
Oh, no. He's
we were.
very, very religious now. But yes,
Yeah.
his coin has his MOS on one of the sides of his coin. He showed it to me.
Yeah, he drove an 88.
88.
and,
Yeah.
Yeah, we were both in service battery 2-3 together. So I don't know what he did after like I left. I haven't like talked to him in quite a while.
Hold on. I got to take a picture of this. I got to send this to him. I'm sorry, man. Darren is like Darren's my boy. I love that guy.
Oh yeah, no, like he was. We had
Hi,
this
Darren.
like crew.
Hi, Darren.
No, we had this crew. We were stationed in Gießen together in Gießen, Germany.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah, we were stationed there. He was in our maintenance section and stuff. But we had this crew of like 4 or 5 of us, and it was and he was part of it. Like we were all like, we did everything together. I got pictures of me and him. We were touring castles all over the place and stuff. Like when we were there together, we did everything together. All the drinking, the clubs, but all the like
Really?
I bought a car. I bought this like 1987 Toyota Tercel after we got back from Bosnia, and I can't remember. I think he joined us after that, but like immediately, like we ended up with this like tight bond of us, and
Oh
I got
my
another
God.
guy.
I haven't seen him in 25 years. He just wrote, I just sent him a picture. And
Yeah,
he
we're
says
connected,
hi.
but we haven't really talked. And I saw these like 5 hours away, and then so I reached out to another guy that was part of our crew that's in Denver. I'm like, dude, we got to do a reunion.
Well, hey, Cash, if you want to see him, he is going to be in Louisville, Kentucky for the National Convention, which is 5 hours away. And I'm going to be there. Darren's going to be there. Fleek is going to try and make it, maybe, right?
So
Fleek?
it's the
Awesome,
ultimate
yeah.
recruiting pitch. Drag me to a national convention.
Yep.
Dude,
Yep.
there's-
I told
hey,
you, man. He's good.
Cash, 10,000 veterans plus
Oh my
auxiliary
God.
will be there. It's awesome.
Wow.
If you've never been to a national convention, this is like the Super Bowl for veteran events.
Wow. Yeah. When's it going to be?
July 27th to August 4th.
Sheesh.
You
Well,
don't
I
have
might be
to
able,
stay.
I don't know. I can't stay for a week, but I might be able to make the trip up.
Yeah,
for
you
a
don't
day
have
or
to
two.
stay the whole time. You can stay for a couple days, see Darren.
Yeah.
I am on the National Bylaw Committee, so I have to stay. They're paying me
Yeah.
to get up there. So I have to stay until probably August 3rd, and then I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
We were running buddies in Germany. That's what he just said.
Yeah, no, we were. Like literally. Yeah. I remember running. But yeah, we went like we did everything together. No, I bought this like 87 Toyota Tercel, and this thing we would fit all 4 of us in there. It was like this stick shift. If you hit a good enough wind, we'd shift over like 3 lanes on the Autobahn. And we use that thing to go like back before Google. I had like this Hertz map. We would pick out a location with like a castle and stuff, and we'd just go see what the hell was there. Yeah, and it was like we had a blast. We did that stuff for God a good year and a half, of just hitting different places. I have 4 albums of photos that were nothing but that first enlistment that
Nice.
back in the day I took everywhere. I took me the old freaking disposable cameras and did those things. And man, yeah, and I had them all done and stuff. And yeah, he's in a ton of my photos because we were everywhere. I got a couple of pictures he might not want to see, but
I want to see them. I want to see them. I want to see them.
That were after a little bit of a raucous night, but I think I have one of them in a. I'm almost sure that is in a toga.
My God.
Yeah. Like I say, it's like a 21-year-old version of him in a toga. Yeah. In fact, I know I have it. Unfortunately, I'm not sure I can bring it out because I think I'm in the toga too. Not his, but some, one of my own.
I just said that to him. I was like, toga, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Oh my God, laughing my ass off. So yes.
I guess he remembers.
He remembers. Darren, I'm gonna get on, dude. We're gonna get the goods on you, dude. That's a funny story. LOL.
Yeah, those were good times. I mean, it was, I don't know, you end up on the, German posts where they were small and, we probably had, we had 2 battalions on the whole thing. So you end up, with like tight knit groups.
Yeah.
And you end up doing everything together and stuff, In fact, if you're going to remind him of something, you should remind him of the trip to Amsterdam and the fact that we were willing to pay, for his entertainment, but he refused. We just had one thing. We would get to choose the entertainment, and he didn't want to go for that. We had our battery commander. Yeah, actually, I have 2 things. Our battery commander sponsored. You'll love this. Sponsored the trip to Amsterdam.
He pleads the 5th on Amsterdam. By the way.
Yeah. Our battery commander sponsored the trip to Amsterdam, and we went, me and him and a bunch of our other buddies. And our chaplain sponsored the trip to Munich for Oktoberfest.
Nice. That's a good chaplain.
Yes.
That is
I wonder.
A damn good chaplain.
I am curious if he still has any of the beer mugs because we ended up swiping some beer mugs from Oktoberfest, the big steins and stuff, they can literally hold like 4 beers. Yeah, you see those women like, carrying around and they got big, muscles bigger than we do, right? Because they haul so many of them at one time. Yeah, we ended up stealing a bunch of them. I got like 4 at home, and I'm wondering because we all split them up afterwards.
No. You didn't steal. You tactically acquired. You did not steal.
Yes.
Army soldiers.
Hey, people
Marines
left them behind,
Navy,
so we acquired them.
We do not steal.
Yeah,
no,
you're
That's
right.
Article 121.
Yes. Yeah, right. We did tactically acquire some mugs. Yeah, without a doubt.
What's the saying? Gear adrift is a gift.
Gear adrift is a gift. That's right. Gear adrift is a gift.
Somebody else doesn't want it and they leave it. You got to get the job done, right?
Sorry for your luck.
Mission
Cash.
first.
Hey, we're going. Hey, listen, I've got a hotel room already. I'm staying by myself. I've got like enough room for like 4 people. But if you want to stay with me, I've already got my hotel booked. If you want to come up,
I can see about making that happen because it'd be totally.
Darren would love to see you, and I mean, you'll get to sit on the. We have to go to these meetings, these chaplain meetings, because he's a Kentucky chaplain, and you can sit in with us, and we'd vouch for you. We'd be like, yeah, we know this guy. He's good. He can stay. He's fine. Don't worry about him. He's a God-fearing man. See, hold on.
Yeah.
He just wrote me something. Yep, we tried to break the record of most beer steins taken from Oktoberfest. I believe we had 16.
We ended up splitting them up like between 4 of us because we had this crew. That we were like determined to do it, and eventually security started clamping down. So we ended up having we were able to get like 16 of them or something, and they all had to be different, and then we like divvied them up. So you couldn't have 2 of the same, because you have all those beer halls and every the different brands and stuff, and that's what we ended up. And to this day, I still have all mine. They stay on display.
Was the beer
So
cold or warm?
well, so it started that the beer was cold. But then we started shortcutting because we realized if we tried to drink all the beer first, we wouldn't be able to acquire the mugs because we'd all be too drunk off our asses to do it. So people would leave them on the ground, and we started looking for different designs and grabbing those. And we would just pour out whatever was left or something, and then we'd sneak them out. But eventually security started showing up, and you're not supposed to acquire them. So, they started checking bags if you had one and stuff. Yeah, it was, but we made a pretty good run for a little while. And, it was funny. So, because you speak of chaplains, like the night before, we were actually, the military had the, like armed forces, I don't remember, USO or something, whatever it was sponsored by the military as resorts down there, down in Bavaria.
Mhm.
And so we went to like this place called Kemse, and there's castles and stuff. Well, so the chaplain sponsored this. This is the funny part. So he sponsors it, and so he's with us as we go down, and we get there, and we're at this armed forces hotel, and the chaplain's like, okay, now the next morning, if you want to, come and you want to pray, we'll do this. And we're also going to do a little PT and everything. And of course, what happens, you just there was like, I don't know, 20 or 30 of us, right, that had ridden down on this bus. We're all going to, Oktoberfest the next day. And we did some other touring around and stuff. So that they had a PX, that had alcohol. Yeah, like it was a shopette. Yeah. So they had a shopette with alcohol on sale. So almost as soon as he said, okay, you're all released, there was a line out that shopette to buy beer, like every one of us. And so the next morning when they did this, hey, let's get together for PT, out of like 20 or 30, like 5 people showed up or something because everybody else was drunk and hungover. And it's the chaplain sponsor, and it was so hilarious. And he couldn't really do anything because it was not mandatory or anything. Like I say, this is like supposed to be vacation, not make us do stuff. So, but it was like, I'm like thinking about it when I see how many people learned how many people had shown up. I'm like, you got to be crazy to even ask that, to like ask for anybody to bother to be there. Like, yeah, you should know what's going to really happen. So. Yeah, we had good times.
You guys have a mutual friend in Cleveland, Tennessee that I've been trying to contact with.
In Cleveland?
Yeah.
I don't know. Does he know? He's got to tell me a name.
Hold on. I don't know. He's like really Johnny on the spot right now. Like seriously, when I text this guy, he answers within like 3 seconds. Like,
that's funny.
I don't know. He's just, I don't know. Mark Simmons.
He's in Cleveland.
Yep. That's what he says. That's what Darren's saying to me.
So yeah. So in our crew, that's the other member, and I haven't known where the hell he is.
Yeah, he's in Cleveland, Tennessee.
Well, he's right here in Tennessee.
Oh my God, he's not even an hour away from me.
I'll get you his information because I got this thing where I can look people up and find out their information. Yeah.
Yeah, he was another member of our crew, and he was the crazy one. We were me and Adkins were the same one, sane somewhat. But the guy used to live in Kentucky. I actually connected with him back in like 2008, visited, and then he was in the reserves. He moved to like Massachusetts, and he fell off the map. I've been looking for him for the last like 3-4 years. And I couldn't find him on Facebook or anything. And that's how I find, like I say, I got a lot, like a lot of us veterans, that's kind of how we stay in touch. Right.
Well, shit, Darren still thinks you're in Las Vegas right now.
Oh, I tell him I'm 5 hours away from him.
No, I know. I told him, I was like, dude, not anymore. He's in Murfreesboro.
I've been here since 2011.
Okay. Darren, do you hear that? He's been here since 2011. You need to get with it, dude. Social media.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, because actually me and Darren have been connected for, I don't know, at least a few years on Facebook, but we didn't really like get into a conversation. I think it just kind of I think I found him through somebody else's profile.
Yeah. Well, he just asked me, he's very excited that you're going to be at National and seeing him. He actually asked me, he's like, is he in your post? He's like, not yet, but he will be.
Well, Well,
I
now I
kind
got
of
more of
thought-
a reason to do it. Yeah, like I always love connecting with veterans anyway, because I
Yeah.
think I find that the veteran community is such a small, ridiculously small world of people that we ended up at the same posts at the same time, sometimes in the same unit. I ran into a guy one day at the FedEx office that was in the class before me in my basic training unit. We were even in the same platoon. We were just separated by literally one cycle on training. Like it's weird how you will run into people that, considering how many veterans there are, it seems like it's huge, and then it's not so huge.
No, it's no, I share the same thing because I just met a guy that was in weapons, a different company, but the same battalion in Massachusetts on my trip last week. I'm like, yeah, do you know this? My friend who I'd known since I was 5 years old, he's like, hey, do you know this guy Nick Sear? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah. He lives up here in Ryan, New Hampshire. And I'm like, holy shit. Because we served together, but different companies. It's a small world. It's great. I love it. I love the veteran community. And Fleek, dude, he runs into people all the time that he knows. All the time.
Yeah, it's seriously weird. Yeah, so
his
I've been
name,
trying to.
Darren's name was Tim.
Yeah.
Okay, because I only know him as Darren. His name is actually Tim.
Well, I go by Army, so I knew him as Adkins, and I didn't think, and I saw Darren on there, but it was Tim.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. He might be using his middle name or something.
Okay.
He's a incognito.
Yeah, I guess
laying
so.
low.
Yeah, but no, it's him because obviously he answered all the questions correct, so you got the right guy.
That is like, dude, seriously, that is like the coolest thing. Like, we've got you on the show, and I mean, you're like one step away from like the VFW. Like, seriously, it's crazy. And hey, Cash, I don't know what you do on Sundays, but 8:00 every Sunday, we have coffee with a veteran at Joni's on the square.
Okay. Yeah. I think I've been there once, before, saw that, quite a while back, but
You did come to a coffee with a veteran?
yeah, but it's been a long time. It wasn't either I heard about it or I went to one. I'm not sure, but I know of it.
Okay.
I'll say that much.
Well, you're always welcome, man. It's a lot of fun. I haven't been in a couple months, but it's good. It's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm always up for a good cup of coffee. So
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, you're telling me. I had 3 today. I just could not get my day started today, man. I really couldn't.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
So Cash, what so you're in charge of all these businesses, which is great. Are you hiring veterans, or do you know of any of your businesses hiring veterans?
Well, at the moment, no, but that's because, and I've hired veterans in the past and stuff, but because I sold a business, and then I've got multiple where, like the one I'm doing now that's here in Murfreesboro is a startup, so I'm just doing it myself right now. Now down the road, things can change, but in the past I've hired veterans and stuff, and in fact, and I may be able to get you to recruit him because in the business I sold, one of my top guys, he was a vet, he was a Marine. He spent 6 years and he was in Okinawa, and he deployed to Iraq and stuff. And so, and me and him are buddies. It's like he wasn't just an employee.
What's his name?
We became. His name's Noe Lopez.
Huh.
And I know he's probably not. No, he lives in Antioch.
Oh yeah, that's right down the road.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, whenever I can, I have always tried.
Can you tell us about this co-working center that you're putting together?
Please do. Yeah.
What's this all about?
Well, so it's called the Achieve Entrepreneur and Co-working Center. Basically, when I sold my agency, I had a office that I kept. I don't own it, but I built it out in 2017 for the agency, and it's 6,600 square feet. And Murfreesboro doesn't have besides the military, I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 years. Of my life. So I wanted to be able to rent rates and stuff like that are getting high. Yeah. And I'm a believer in startup businesses and trying to help them. And I've, over the years, whether they were veterans or not, I try to, help where I can for people trying to start businesses, impart a couple of, some mistakes not to make, things like that. And so if I can ever offer them support, I want to do it. So since I had the office and I wanted to do something new, I decided to turn it into a co-working space
Ooh.
where it's, rather than lease the offices, it's membership based. So if
Yeah,
you're a
yeah.
startup business, a lot of it, with remote work, people don't want to be in the office necessarily, 5 days a week, but they might want to be in 2 days a week, a day, because they need to get out of the house. They don't want to pay. Some of these rent rates are like stupid for offices. And it's really weird because like commercial rates, like commercial real estate is suffering in most places. If you go big cities and stuff, because all these big companies that don't need these giant offices because of how many people work remote. But in a place like Murfreesboro, we don't have those offices. We don't
Yeah.
have those massive companies that, rent out whole skyscrapers. So and with all the people moving in, well, the stuff over on like Medical Center and the fountains and stuff is gotten super expensive.
Yep. Yes, it has.
They're renting telephone, literally if you went the size of a telephone booth, you're paying $600 a month. And I'm like, that's crazy, and so people want a place to be able to go at least part of the time because they might have too many distractions at home and stuff. Well, you can't, if you're a startup business or you're looking to expand a little bit or whatever, you can't do that. And there's a lot of people that are already established, but they're consultants, coaches,
Yeah.
things like that. And they need a place to go.
I love your website, man. I was just looking at it. Beautiful. Very, very crisp, very clean. I just sent it to Fleek. Fleek, are you looking at his website right now?
I'm actually looking at it right now. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
You beat me to it, dude. You beat me to it.
I got a background in digital marketing, so I built it myself.
Fleek, we need to get him to help out a little bit. Maybe you can help out our VFW website. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I could probably help with that if I was a member,
Yeah. Well, I told Darren to give you a call, so he's actually going to be helping me recruit you. So
So the idea though is I want the place to be more than just co-working, So the co-working side is membership based, you pick how many days a month you want to show up and you pay based on that. So it goes like 5, 10, 15, 20, but no matter how much you want to be there, all the rates are under $300. If it's 5 days, it's like $95 a month. So it's very affordable, but then I also want it where we're starting to put on networking events next week. I'm partnering with some people that already run some events, and bring them into the space because I got a large enough conference room that I can host those things in a professional setting. And then I want to eventually do mastermind groups where it's business owners getting together. Because I'll tell you, you've been a business owner for a long time, you need a support group to be an owner. Like you need therapy.
Are you talking? Are you talking to Chamber of Commerce about any of this?
I'm a member and I've talked to them a little bit. I'm going to see about the Small Business Development Center too.
No. I just applied for the Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce leadership program.
Leadership Rutherford.
Exactly. Yeah. I just applied for it. I don't know. I'll hear back from them, but I know all those people, and I'm glad.
Well, you can get a Blackhawk ride out of it, so
Sorry about that. My wife just got home, and
I was going to say, is that your dogs?
Yeah, they go crazy. They go crazy.
I see networking for awesome people. Are you working with Rachel?
Yep. Yeah, we start doing. She's been great. She's a huge support, and we're bringing her event over next week. Starting on Wednesday. So,
is it moving over there permanently?
Yes. Yeah. Every Wednesday we're going to have it because, it's been held in that Veterans Center. And the thing is people get loud there. And I'll tell you what, as a veteran, they need their support services and stuff, and I don't know. It's like, it's great to have that space, but for what their actual mission is, it kind of, I don't know, it can be, interfere a little bit. Like I said, they need to be supporting veterans, and I think it looks like they do a great job. But I'll tell you what, and I'm sure you guys could attest, all the loudness and, some of the chaos that can kind of go on. It can be bothersome, so yeah. So we're, going to move it into the space that we've got. We've got a large enough conference room to be able to put that stuff on. Yeah. And, we're going to bring some more events in and start some up as well.
Yeah. So, one of my people on my executive board, Cynthia, she mentioned an event that we wanted to do.
Yeah.
On June 14th, but I have not been able to get 5 minutes out of my life to put this thing together. So I have to get a hold of her and see if it's still a go.
Well, I know I can tell you she came over last week. It was either I think it was the end of last week. And we talked about it a bit. Because our parking lot's big enough. I told her we can see about wording the other tenants so that we can keep it clear, area
that's
clear.
good.
Yeah,
that
because we
Rutherford
got
County Veterans Community Center. I mean,
yeah,
it hardly has
it's
any
tucked
parking.
away a little.
It is.
Yeah,
And it's funny because me and Brian Morris, we helped get that like 2 years ago. So, and the American Legion meets there, the VVA meets there, the DAV meets there. Dominic Grimaldi is the VSO there.
Where's your building at?
It's on Church Street.
We're across from where Beeman Dodge is and stuff. There's
so you're on my side of town too.
Yeah, there's a center, and our space is inside the 3-story building that exists, and but we have a lot of parking. There's well over 100 spaces, for the lot itself. But then there's some areas that stay relatively clear, and there's areas that are like the parking for the building that I'm in physically. There's some tenants upstairs that would probably cooperate as far as keeping an area clear as long as I warn them beforehand. So it won't be a problem to set up. And the landlords are really pretty much let everybody do what they want, as long as it's not illegal. So in fact, the landlords, the owners of the actual complex, there is we got a flagpole here, and they leave a POW flag. So as part of it, so they're I don't know, somebody at some point convinced them that to put that flag up, or and it's been flying for a couple of years now.
I know a group of guys that will take care of the flagpole for you.
Yep, that's us. we actually have a guy that goes around and changes out the flags. His name is Russ List, Air Force. I've helped him out a bunch of times.
He might be the guy that's changed this one. Yeah, he might be the guy that's been doing it. Yeah,
wait a minute.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, wait a minute. That's our flagpole.
Well, the flagpole, I could tell you, was here for a long time.
No.
One day somebody starts. Somebody one day showed up and put those
flagpoles.
Yeah. Every month we like, hey, which service wants to give more money for whose flag is going to be up there? So the Air Force has won like 2 months in a row. Before that, it was the Marines, and
that's because Ross fixes it.
Yeah, Ross does. He fixes it. But yeah, we have our flagpole, our flag out in the center of town. Shane McFarland, like down there. The Freemason building, like we've helped fix that a bunch of times. So like, you're gonna be great. Like we take care of everything. So we'll take care of the bearings, we'll take care of the harness, the rope, all that stuff.
Well, apparently you guys are doing it. Definitely already taking care of this one, because it's been
we
well
do it.
They
I think Ross takes money every single meeting, and then whoever wins by the end of the month, that flag goes up. So it's actually kind of cool.
Well, so we've got one flying here already.
Well, that's good. That's good.
But so like I say, the space itself, we should be able to make the arrangements for it for putting on the event.
Well, if you want advertising for the space, if you give me permission, I will put that on my VFW website, our our VFW 12206 website, and it'll have a hyperlink that goes right to the website if you give me permission. No strings
Yeah, go
attached,
ahead.
no cost. Okay, good to go. I'll do that tonight.
Yeah, totally.
We want to help you out, brother. That's what we do. This is what we do here. We hear your stories, and then we support you, and whatever you want to do, we will help make it happen.
Yeah. I want to come by and check out your space.
Hey, you guys are always welcome to come by.
Hey, Fleek, are you getting some ideas right now?
Yeah, always. I'm always thinking.
All right, good to go. Ooh, we might be able to do.
Yes.
Hey, can we do events there too, Cash?
Yeah, I've got space. The conference room will fit up to 40 people, so it depends on the event. Yeah, but yeah, it depends on the event when it, because and when it needs to be held. But after hours and weekend stuff, we're not open anyway, so I can do, easily do those kinds of things.
Okay.
And I'm always open to, like, I say I'm a vet, and I believe in supporting other vets and stuff. And I say,
I'm in, brother. I'm in.
It's a hell of a community, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah. So right now my nonprofit meets out of Single Tree Barbecue. Have you ever been over there by the way?
Not to Single Tree. I didn't actually know about it, so I'm gonna have to check it out. I've gone to Mission Barbecue a few times and stuff.
Single Tree's. I'm not bashing Mission Barbecue, but Single Tree's pretty damn good, and he's it's veteran owned, and it's a one guy show, and so he's trying to make it. So we definitely try to help him out.
Oh yeah,
I'll
definitely check him out.
The thing about those two places, one, if you go into Mission Barbecue, you'll see a picture of yours truly. He's got a wall of heroes. I'm on that.
Yeah.
So is Ross, and so is Sean, and a couple other people from around Murfreesboro. If you go to Mission Barbecue, you'll see my sticker that patchops.com made of me, and you will see my VFW cover. All-American Commander is up on the wall as well. They just put that up there. It's on the far wall going towards, like, you're going to go order. So
yeah,
it's right up here. And it's pretty cool. Mission I love, but I love Charlie too. I love both of them. So they're my business is, I don't always go to Charlie, but I don't always go to Mission Barbecue. I go to both. I spread the love.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And Cash, actually, there is a new bakery on the square. His name is Doug Berg. It's called O'Flow Bakery. He's a Navy guy, and he opened up this shop right on the square, and it is fantastic. You definitely have to go check it out.
Was he a Navy cook?
I don't think.
Okay, good. As long as he wasn't a Navy cook, because that might be suspect. Yeah.
I can't remember what his rate was, but is that right, Fleek? Rate? That's your job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he was a yeoman. Maybe he was an MA, a master at arms. I can't. That's a really good question. I can't remember what Doug was, but it's a great bakery nonetheless.
Right on. All right. Well, my phone's blowing up,
sir.
Man, my phone's blowing up too, and I have some nonprofit stuff to do. But we're at an hour, so at the end of every episode, we ask a question.
Probing question.
Okay.
What? Are you gonna ask question? It?
Okay. Yep. I'm gonna do the question that you fixed a little bit, Fleek. So you got a guy. He's just coming out of the service. Guy or girl. Man or woman, and you got to give them a piece of advice. We call this a saved round. So what kind of advice are you going to give to he or she after their military service? What is your advice to give to them?
Like for moving on to a new career and,
anything, a career, separation, like any kind of advice that you would give someone that's just separating from the military.
Okay, well, the first thing is the easy one is when they say turn in everything about your record and apply for your benefits, do it. Whether you think you have anything or not, do it. Okay, because I run into people all the time that didn't, and that was one of the best pieces of advice that I ever got was, yeah, you don't know what you might have wrong that is service connected. And while the VA's healthcare is not perfect, by any means, they've done right by me for the last like 14 years. And if you don't apply, you can't get it. And, like, I don't know, when I've got a problem, I can go in, I can get my appointment at least. I mean, I know sometimes the wait times or whatever to get in, I say they're not perfect, but it's still it is beneficial. Yeah, in so many ways, especially if you are, you get a rating and stuff on, disability, I say, and you don't know the stuff I thought I would have been rated for, I didn't, and the stuff I didn't even realize I was, so I think that's one of the biggest things is take advantage of everything that the VA offers and that your military service, you earn those things, so take advantage of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well said, man. Well said.
Yeah. So that'd be my biggest one, and then like I say, and if you're getting out there, lean into the military experience. You got to experience it. Nobody else has, there's other vets that have it, but when you go, remember the things the military taught you, especially the discipline, the work ethic. Those are the things that are going to serve you well in the civilian world, because there's a lot of people that, especially these generations right now. Oh, brother. So you have got, even if you're from that generation, you have a leg up because you've done something that they didn't do.
That's a good one, man. That is good. That was funny.
So that's it's a huge difference, because I can tell you the difference between my first and second enlistment, it was so night and day when I went back in and saw what, how, basic training was so much different, but if the units that you were with did right by you, you learned discipline, you learned, honestly, to be an adult, to take care of yourself, to do the things you need to do and get the mission done. And that's what'll serve you really well, in civilian life too.
That was beautifully spoken. Beautiful, Cash.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us today. Maybe sometime in the near future we can get you and your guy up there in Kentucky and get you on the same episode. Do a little
I'd love to do that. I'd totally love to do that. And hey, I want to give a shout out to one particular person because of Memorial Day coming up. September 30th, 2010. My section chief was killed by an IED. His Staff Sergeant Jesse Infante, and he was the first mission I ever went on in Iraq. He was the guy I went with. He was the guy that took care of everybody. He was there, and just remembering him on Memorial Day, because it was a tragedy. When we lost him, it was terrible. We actually, and some of the other people even that was in that same incident, there was a Captain Gates, and he was you can appreciate this, he was the first chaplain killed in a combat theater since like World War II. I think it was, if I recall correctly. But Captain Gates was his name if you look him up, and he was our battalion chaplain, and he died in the same explosion. We had an MRAP that they hit an IED and there was 5 people killed. So my section chief was one, so a shout out to him and the chaplain as well, because he was a great guy. I'd met him numerous times, like all soldiers end up doing at some point, when it's the battalion chaplain. So to both of them, and of course the others that were that we lost that day.
Absolutely.
We lost actually 3 people in my platoon on that day. So a Private Clements, and we had another section chief that day. We lost we had 2 section chiefs, and they were both killed in that roadside bomb. So on Memorial Day, I want to remember them, because
absolutely,
to this day, I say they were all great people, every one of them.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's what we do on the show. We get the word out, we get their names out. Our goal is for none of them to be forgotten. So that's our main goal, and
That's
we
why we
appreciate
do
you.
this podcast. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
But thank you, Cash. And I just sent you, actually about 45 minutes ago, I sent you an application. Just fill it
Okay.
out. And as soon as you get
Um,
something, just let me know what your membership number is so I can give it to my quartermaster so he can transfer you back in.
Yes. And also this weekend or something in the near future, let's grab a beer.
Yeah. Whenever you want, I'm always up for a beer.
All
Yeah.
right. All
Good to
right. Thanks for joining us. We're going to sign off now. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys. And
Thanks, Cash.
remember, if you want to support us, there's links down below.
And if you
Send
want
us
to
a
get on the
buck.
show, just
That is
Facebook
true.
us or
Let us
email or
know.
phone or whatever.
Yes. All right. Thank you. Thanks, Cash. See you guys.
Thank you. Yeah.